Hello there, my little Niffler friends. I'm Brittany Kimberly. Welcome back to my channel that is full of magical geeky goodness 100% of the time. This weekend we had Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. The way I'm going to structure this video is the first part I'm going to give a generalization of how I felt about the movie, and then when we move into the second part I'm going to get a little more detailed and there will be some spoilers. I'll let you guys know when I'm getting into the section of the spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie yet and you don't want it to be spoiled, you can click off the video. Overall, in general, I absolutely loved it. It was so fun and so amazing and just so feel good, just like the first one was. Basically, it was hilarious as expected. The music was great, except not as good as the first movie. I expected it to be a great soundtrack because the first movie had an amazing soundtrack. This one was good, but not as good. The opening sequence of the film was beautiful. It was not only funny and hilarious and got you super into the movie, it just was so beautifully done. It was just amazing to look at and to watch. It was this wonderful artwork and I just absolutely adored it. I wanted to cry the whole time, even though I was cracking up laughing the whole time. My really only big criticism for this movie is too many characters have too many conflicts. They tried to bring everyone back in from the first movie, which I didn't think was super necessary. They all have their own conflicts that they're trying to overcome, which is fine because it all kind of ties into the major conflict, which ends up being Quill's conflict. There's a lot of different things to follow, and it's just not one clean plot line, which is fine. Characters need their own development if you're gonna have these team kind of movies, but it was just a little too much in my personal opinion. I would have backed off of that, and I'll get more into that into my spoiler section. Overall, great movie. I would give it probably a 4.8 out of 5 stars. Yeah, that's probably what I would give it. It was just wonderful, and I just left the movie theater feeling so light and nostalgic even, and a little bit emotional about my own life. They definitely came up with a plot that really makes you think about your own feelings and where you are in your own life, which I thought was very interesting. If you haven't seen this movie yet and you're gonna go see it in the theater, make sure you sit and sit and sit until the very, very, very end when the screen goes black, because there are 4 different in-credit scenes, which is a little excessive, but they're mostly short and just funny. Some of them are important and some of them aren't so important. They're just funny. I didn't see any reason for Nebula to need to be in this movie. The overarching theme of this movie is obviously family and caring for those around you and sacrificing for your family and everything. I get how Nebula's and Gamora's relationship fit into the theme of this movie. Their relationship was never really resolved. I mean, Nebula stopped trying to kill Gamora, but she still had to seek revenge, and she didn't just want to stay with Gamora and stay with the Guardians. Nebula being in the movie at all just wasn't necessary. The only thing she was useful for was being a backup generator. If they wanted to cut back on having too many conflicts and too many characters trying to be redeemed, it could have been Nebula. This goes along with me saying that too many characters had too many different conflicts, but honestly, I loved Yondu's storyline, and I just love what came of him and Quill at the end, and it was just so utterly heartbreaking when he died, and I was just and then Quill's all he's the best dad I ever had, and it was just oh, it's so emotional. And can we please talk about the fact that Peter's dad was the villain? We obviously knew that Quill's dad was obviously going to be in this film or be introduced in this film somehow because of the mention of him in the first film. They talked about him at first, it was a little too highly, and I kind of got this inkling that he might have become the villain, but I didn't want it to be true. Like, it would have been so cool just like watch Quill and his dad be like badasses together, and then he had to end up being the villain, which was like, I would have preferred that he not have been the villain. I like that the person that we thought was one of the villains, like Yondu, ended up being the hero, and that was a great redemption. Nebula's redemption was half-assed. Yondu's was amazing. I loved it, and it was just great. And of course, Baby Groot was just the most adorable thing the whole movie. But yeah, I just really, really loved it. I really loved the first one, so I knew that I was going to at least like this one. And there were just like lots of little Easter eggs in there, and it was just really great. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Like I said, 4.8 out of 5. If I would change anything, I just wouldn't care to have Nebula be a part of it, or either completely have her like redeemed and her and Gamora be like besties, or have not tried to like lead her down the path of redemption and just like kept her as one of the other villains. But other than that, it was great and I loved it. Let me know your thoughts of the movie down in the comments below, or if you have any questions about the movie and you're not sure if you want to see it yet, you should go see it. Make sure you see the first one first. But yeah, if you're not already, please subscribe. There is magical geeky goodness on this channel all the time, and we would love to have you join our little Niffler family. And yeah, if you liked this movie review and you want to see more movie reviews, make sure you give it a big old like, and I will see you guys very soon with a new video. Bye bye.